welcome to Major Scales Part 7. Only 2 more bits to go, you'll be pleased to know. Okay, so we've looked at our major scale fingerings and all the useful ones. So the next thing to think about is how to join them together. Now, if you think about it in analytical terms, if we're playing a D scale here, using a C shape, and messing around with it as we want to do, our hand's in second position. Now, if we play the same scale here, then our hand's in fourth position. Now, although we're playing the same notes at the same pitches, it does produce a really interesting effect when you move from one scale to the other. The timbre of the notes is slightly different. So, oh, that's the guitar all over, isn't it? So, what I'm going to get you to do here is to join the C-shaped scale to the A-shaped scale. We've got to move 2 positions effectively. So the question is, how do we do that? Well, okay. First of all, I'm going to add an extra note on top of our C-shaped scale, and I'm going to move up 2 frets. Now, in the interest of us not sounding too much like a typewriter, I'm actually going to slide from one to the other. You don't have to slide from one to the other, but it kind of oils the wheels a little bit. And then, when we've slid, we're now in fourth position, so we come back to the note that we just slid from, but with a different finger. I'll do that again. 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 1, 2, 4, slide, 2. Now, as soon as we've achieved that, we're in the right place to come back down. Okay, so the most easy way to do this to start with is to connect the end of one fingering to the end of another. So C to our A shape. But that wouldn't be right just to do it one way round, would it? So we've now got to get back. So that's a little bit. We don't need to. We could do that if we wanted, but. Okay, now I had some work done at my house some years ago. It was to do with a staircase and lots of wooden spindles that the guy was putting in. And one of the things he said to me, he said, as a carpenter, he said, if you can't hide it, make a feature of it. And that's very true with changing position on the guitar as well. So let's say we've got, first of all, okay. Now, we could go, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, okay. But it's also interesting, the idea of making a feature of it. I'll just do that again. 3, 1, slide up 2 frets, now we're in position. Do that one more time. If we don't want the slide, So that's a nice way of getting from one to the other. Now, the other question is, of course, well, what if we're in the A-shape scale and we want to get to the C shape? Well, yeah, okay, so it's kind of a reverse of what we did. Okay, so changing position, but trying to do it musically and smoothly. So moving two positions, and this is why obviously having half a dozen fingerings is going to be massively useful to us in terms of fluidity as we try and progress. So again there, that's just a starting point. I'm going to do a second part of this, but it's, as ever, very important, work on that first part. Now, you might think that's the end of the first part, but it's actually not, because what we've done is we've linked the beginning of one scale to the beginning of another, or if you like to put it the other way around, the bottom of one scale to the bottom of another, or the top of one scale to the top of another. What we haven't thought about is what we might do in the middle. Now, this really means we're approaching a situation where we can play anything over this area in a D scale and just be, you know, really quite comfortable if we can get this going. Okay, so again, one finger movement. If you've just got to move one finger once, that's not too bad. If you know, doing that's much more difficult. If you move it once, it's not too bad. Oh, got a bit carried away there. Okay, so let's do it again. And so on. That sounds a bit nicer, doesn't it? Okay. Again. Okay. Sometimes it's nice to make those little jumps as well, isn't it? And so on. Anyway, so hopefully that gives you a few ideas. As ever, just try and work on these things. And one nice tip is always think over the bar. Don't think to the end of one scale and kind of put a big bar line there in your mind's eye. Think you just sort of you go straight through that. And when you start thinking you're in the new scale. Yeah, so I don't go stop. Now I've got to think. I've got to think. Yeah, if I get that far, I'm already home and dry, really. Anyway, okay, so that's enough for this particular video, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Any questions, please get in touch. Any videos you'd like me to do, or any questions you really need answering, or subjects you need tackling, let me know. And as ever, please hit the subscribe button, and thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.